So what's going on, guys? I would just like to say that I was right. Boom. So a while ago, and before, I've always been saying that having destruction in decks, like Dark Hole and Raigeki and Torrential, I don't know why I said Dark Hole twice, but yeah, was always good. People always said, oh, it's bad, it's too slow, this format, it's good. And now everybody's saying it's good again for the current meta or current decks and everything that's out. I call bullshit. The cards have always been good. There's always been a reasoning for destruction. All those old decks still exist, and the new decks are even better than the old decks. None of the old decks that really didn't get bothered by Dark Hole never really got destroyed. I mean, granted, there have been things I've banned and whatever, but for the most part, everything is pretty much the same since when everybody said Dark Hole and Raigeki are shitty. So what exactly changed? Well, what changed is people saying, well, not people saying, people had a Dark Hole go to 2, or was it Raigeki went to 1? Oh, it's when Raigeki, whatever. When we had the 3 of them, when it came to that, people are like, oh, it's still probably bad because destruction's bad because that's what everybody said, because that's the cool thing to do. And now look, everybody is stapling 2 Dark Holes and a Raigeki. Some builds I see just 1 Dark Hole and a Raigeki, but still, come on. Granted, Torrential Tribute has always been a better card, and it still falls in line with those cards, and people never really said Torrential Tribute was bad, but they said Dark Hole and Raigeki is too slow. Granted, it can be slow, but really, especially with Necross right now, if I can play a card that will make everything you have go away, just to give me a chance, I'll do it. Top decking Dark Hole has been a thing that has pissed people off forever. Now you have 3 chances to top deck basically a Dark Hole. And that's even better, because Raigeki doesn't even destroy your field, so that's a plus for you if you get top deck that. There's nothing wrong with destruction. It will always be good. As long as Yu-Gi-Oh! Exists, it'll always be good. The fact that Konami gave us all these cards is because they know what they were making, they know what was coming out, and they're going to give you the ability to stop it. Now, granted, they should also do 2 Torrentials at least if you're trying to stop it, but that's just my thoughts on it. They might not have been trying to stop it, but that's what I get out of that. Nothing will ever change in Yu-Gi-Oh! With Dark Holes and Raigekis. It'll always be that way. It's just gonna be, if it gets banned, it'll suck. If it gets more, it's gonna be crazy. But cards that ruin your opponent's field will always be good. Always. It will never change. And, I mean, of course, there's gonna be the things like certain decks won't get affected by it like that and certain things like that. Like, Raccoon's a deck of one of my favorites of mine. If you have 2 of the main Raccoon XYZ, then yeah, a Dark Hole's not gonna do anything. But I'm saying for the broad majority of the game, Dark Hole, Raigeki, destruction cards fucking rule. Anything to get down right now. Right now, E-Heroes are a good matchup, and I'm one of the few people that think E-Heroes suck. Dark Law, excellent card, but there are things to get around them. Dark Hole, Raigeki. It's not a game-changing of a card, it's just a good card. But no matter what, it's a gimmick card. It will always decide a game to some degree, somehow. I mean, every card has a fate in the game, like we'll decide the fate, obviously. But like I said, you could have stacked a huge field from a Soul Charge play. You can't attack because it's Soul Charge. The next turn, I already have 1 monster. I have enough monster to take out your life points. Top deck Raigeki, you're done. Yeah, okay, we could say you have back row or whatever. I'm just saying, in this scenario, you have nothing left. You Soul Charge, you get a big field, you're like, yeah, I can take you out next turn. And then Raigeki, done. Like, it's just like that. I know everything freaking floats and replaces itself now and all of that, but literally I beat some Necross, whatever this new archetype of stupidness that is out, by a Raigeki through, I was testing out my hand heroes, the new hand heroes. Yes, I'm playing hand heroes again. If you've never seen that, search my videos. It's a pretty interesting deck. And I beat him with a freaking ice hand and a Raigeki. And he's playing a $900 deck, I'm playing maybe sub-$100 deck. Now, will he beat me probably 9 times out of 10 on the other time? Yes, but that's the thing. The destruction cards make it so you have those wins, because they're always good. I know a lot of people have always agreed saying they're good, but I just hated that period where we had Dark Hole to 2, and even when Dark Hole was 1. I mean, when it was at 1, it was like, why wouldn't you play? People would opt out of Dark Hole for another card. I think that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. But then you have these deck profiles when Dark Hole's at 2 and they're like, yeah, I'm not playing Dark Hole, it's too slow. I'm like, are you kidding me? You can destroy in a field, it's always safe. It's always safe card. Now, if you really don't want to play those, you could play a lot more traps, and you'd probably, for the most part, be somewhat safer, especially with the 3 Mirror Force, and then you have Phoenix Chains and a bunch of other good traps, Vanities. You could be safer than Dark Hole, but that's not to say that those are bad cards either, though, is what I'm trying to get at. Just because you can play something over it, that's just all of you. There's cards that I could play out for something else. Like, I feel like Creature Swap is a good tech card for any deck. I mean, yeah, there's certain decks that utilize it more, but you know, whatever. Yes, if your preferred preference is to play more traps for those 3 cards, even though I still think you should keep Raigeki, but say you took out both Dark Holes and say you want to play Mirror Force, and now you put in 2 Mirror Force. Nothing bad happens from it. There's pros and cons to each, but what the point is, they were never bad, they were never slow, and I was fucking right. So peace out!